I mean, it's scary for everyone. I mean, no one knows 100% what's going on, but at the same time, there's a lot of hysteria. There's a lot of people trying to figure out what's going on and taking what little information we have and and causing more confusion in some cases. Um, my son just about a week or so ago was flying, doing some training in Idaho Falls, and social media blew up. That people were seeing a drone flying over town, and then all these people saying that maybe they should shoot it down. And I mean, it's my son up there, and there's so many people who are pilots and who are training, and it's scary to think that people are talking about shooting planes down that are really just people flying and doing what they're doing for training for work, and it's a scary time.
With that being said, a conversation I had with one of the military bases when this story was first starting to pick up was how can people know whether it's a plane or a drone and whether they should be concerned? Just from your pilot and flying experience and what you know about aircraft, what would be your 2 cents there? How can people know if it's a drone or a plane?
There's a lot of publicly available information. A lot of airplanes have what's called ADSB, which is a broadcast signal that shows altitude and speed. And there's lots of websites that you can get on, and it'll show you exactly what's flying above you, how fast it's going, what airport it took off from, and all of that's publicly available. So, I mean, I would encourage people to just double check and do some research before jumping to conclusions in a lot of cases.
Walk me through your emotions and feelings as you read the comments online with photos of your son in the air saying, time to shoot that down, or more or less.
Yeah, my wife and I spent a couple hours that evening just trying to respond to people, just trying to educate people, just trying to tamp down some of that hysteria that was happening of saying, hey, no, this was a plane, this was a four-seater aircraft, this was our son, and uh, it was a full-time, nonstop 2 hours, two people just trying to respond to some of that hysteria and misinformation that was happening.
Your comment that really stood out to me in your post was, I would prefer that my son not be shot out of the sky tonight.
It's scary, and my wife was actually up with him at the time, and he was doing some training maneuvers and had actually gotten permission from air traffic control at Idaho Falls to do a lower pass over the city. But I mean, at the time, he was still 1,500 feet above the ground, which is still safe, still a good distance, but should still be a good distance to identify it as an airplane and not anything else.
You thought this information was really important. You shared it across multiple platforms. How has it been received in these different online groups that you've said, hey, this is important for people to know and understand?
Yeah, I've heard from student pilots and pilots all over the country, from Massachusetts to Iowa and even Utah, that they're like, yeah, this is scary. This makes me reconsider when and where I fly, because it's a lot of scary unknowns right now. But the one thing that is clear is that we need to double check, and in a lot of cases, these are people up there. These are people's sons and daughters. In our case, it really was our son up flying that night.
So incredibly unnerving. One thing I do want to just go back over with you. We hashed this out earlier in the interview, but you said, hey, look, I understand the concern. I understand why people are feeling uneasy about this right now. Just touch on that one more time.
There's so much fear of the unknown right now. There's so much um, anxiety. There's so much And I don't want to make it political, but at the same time, our country is at a point of transition. And, um, come January 20th, there's going to be, a change in this country. And um, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of unknowns. And I think this is a time where people need to step back and take a deep breath um, and realize that we don't know everything, but we shouldn't take drastic measures at the same time.
Your message to pilots and others who are just like you and your son.
We fly because we love it, and so it's hard when things like this happen that there's distractions there that kind of get in the way of the joy of flying. And I mean, we just need to keep doing what we're doing and hope for the best, but have some public education at the same time that people need to be aware that there are a lot of student pilots out there.